I hope we are all there. I said to create variables, there are two main ways that we can bring variables in our STATA. We can either create them manually using the graphical user interface, or we can use the commands, or we can import dataset. We can import these variables from maybe Microsoft Excel, or we can also import them from maybe SPSS. Yeah, we can import variables from other programs. So we are starting with the first one, which is creating variables using the graphical user interface. So we already created two variables here, but it doesn't make sense. So we have to rename them. We have to give them a name that makes something that we can understand. So you can either come here and say rename from here, or you can click here and then you come to the variable properties, sorry, the property variable here, and then you can rename it from there. Name it manually. So we can rename this income. STATA, it's very sensitive with whatever we put in the command window. So realize that I'm trying to rename variable 1, but it looks like I'm missing something. My syntax looks like I'm missing something. So what I have to do is you can use the hope command to show you the right command that you're supposed to put in. So you can say hope rename. When we do this, it will show us that to rename a variable, you can type rename, or you can just type REN. The underlined words here, it shows us that this can be the short form of rename. You can just use REN instead of writing the full rename. Then you write the old variable, which in our case is variable 1, and then the new variable, that's the new variable name that you want. So let's go back there. So you can say rename variable 1, and then this is what we are renaming, this variable. So you say rename this income. So you'll see on our variable window here, it has renamed this as income. So we can come to the second one as rename it as well. So you can rename variable 2 as maybe age, something like that. So we have them named. So when you come back to our edit window, you'll find that the variables are now named as income and age. Okay, so that's the one way we can use to create variables in STATA. Another means that you can use, we can use the commands themselves to create variables in STATA. We usually use the command generate. The command generate helps us to create variables and as well to make changes in the already existing variables in our STATA. So when we type, usually I like using the command help because it helps you to avoid making mistakes, to avoid these threads that we are seeing. So when you come here and type help generate, the help generate will tell you that for you to generate to create a new variable, you have to type this command generate. Then the type, okay, this is optional. When you see these square brackets, it means that this is optional. You can either use it or you can leave it out. But usually this type is meaning the type of the variable. Usually when it's numeric, it's not necessary to type it there, but when you're using a string variable, maybe sex or maybe education, something like that, it's always important for us to type it there. And then we have, you're generating the new variable that you're generating, you type it there, then followed by the label name. This is also optional. You see it in the bracket. We shall see how to use this label name in future. Sorry, in another lecture. Sorry. And then we have this expression. This is a mathematical expression. It can be either it's equals to 1 or it is equals to some other mathematical operation that maybe you're going to do here. And then we have the if command, this if statement. So this if statement just filters data before you can maybe do your calculation or before you can execute anything. And then we have the in statement. And this in statement is we usually use it, it indicates the row that will be affected. For example, if we go back here, if we go back here, you'll notice that the variable that we change, sorry, I'm supposed to be in browse. Here, the in command there meant that the variable that we named here is variable income, having a value of 1. It is in row 1. So when you come to our main window, it shows here that we generated we replaced this variable as income, and this variable is in, sorry, what I'm talking about is this. We generated variable 1 is having a value of 1 in row 1. And then the second one, we generated variable 2 which is age, and it's having a value of 3 in row 1. So that's where we usually use the in command. Sorry, the in statement. Okay, let's go back to the generate. So we saw that we can use generate as the full. We can use generate in full, or we can just type G, or we can just type, in most cases people use gen to generate a variable, but we can as well just use J. So when we come to our main window here, to our command window, you can just type J and say maybe generate any variable that we want. We can just say maybe generate age, and then it's equals to, you put equals to maybe 20, and then you have to specify where is this variable, where is this going. So you maybe specify in 1, meaning in row 1. So it's telling us that this variable is already defined. So in STATA, when a variable is already defined, we already have it there. You cannot generate another variable with the same name. So maybe we can just use something else. So you can maybe just say generate maybe 6 and say is equals to 1, and you maybe put in row 1. So that will come. When you come to our data editor window, you'll find that we have a variable 6 here. Variable 6 is having a value of 1. Then it is in the first row. This basically shows that there's a missing value of 6 here. So we can as well do this as well. We can drop this, or we can create another value for 6 here. Yeah, I think that's all for inputting variable in STATA using the command. So the next thing we can do is we can.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Let's repeat one more time.
I repeat one more time, eh?
On that.
Which one do I repeat? Using
where we are generating that one for 6.
For 6, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. I said we can use gen, or we can use g or generate. Then you say generate 6 equals to 1 in 1, meaning this is our command, the generate, and then this is our variable that we're generating. So you put gen or j or generate is equals to 6. Sorry, gen or generate space 6 equals to 1. Then you say, I want this to be in row 1. Am I clear?
We're good to go.
Mike.
Yes, we are good to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to run this because we already created it here. So when I run it, it's going to say variables ready defined. But you got me right?
Yeah, you can move on.
Okay. So I think we're good there. So we have to move to the next step of importing data from other programs. For example, we can import our data from Excel and then bring it in STATA and then manipulate them. So I want us to go to our Excel. You can just type there Excel. Go to your Excel. We're just going to type like 4 variables, and then we shall bring them in STATA. So we can type the first variable. We can use maybe name of the respondent. Name of the respondent. And the second one, I hope you all are doing the same thing. Yes, how you make this thing. Okay, the next one, let's just type ID of the respondent. Then here maybe we just say sex of the respondent. Then here maybe we say education. I think let me just type education. And then next we can maybe say income. And then maybe, yeah. Okay, so we give them any value that we want. the name of the respondent, we just give them names. Maybe I say Mike. I can say Jonathan. Let me say Peros. And then maybe put Brendan there. Jolie. Okay, then just put Augustine. Then we have ID. Okay, the ID, let's just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we have sex of the respondent. Here we have to know that with sex, maybe we collected data and then we coded sex as male as 1, women as female as 2. So we give the male 1, then women we give them 2. Then we have education. Maybe we coded them, we coded tertiary, maybe we coded 1. Then secondary 2. Then we have maybe primary 3. Then those who have no education, no formal education, maybe coded them 4. And then, yeah, I'm just giving them random. Then income, maybe someone else. 200, 300. You can put them any value that you want. So let's save this. Save them where you can get it, because it's what we're going to use. In mine, I'm going to save it in old STATA. So let's, if I go back to my STATA here, I am going to clear here. Last time we looked at the command clear. That command clears all that you are doing, clears the data set that you are using before. So let's just type clear and we clear this away. Since we're bringing in a new data set. Are we all together?
Hello?
Faith, where are you?
We just type clear only.
You type clear, you have cleared the data set. It's okay, we are there. So now, go back to your data editor. Are you there? Someone has to mute. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. So go to your Excel. Let's copy this. Copy all of it. And then we come back to our STATA.
A moment.
We already open our browser. Yes?
How do we clear those variables that are there? I think I missed
Because
that
you're
one.
bringing in a new, we are
Sorry?
bringing in a new data set. I said we are bringing in a new data from Excel, so we don't want to mix it.
And I was saying we already have those
We are,
two variables, the one of income, age, and sex. How do I clear them first?
just type clear on the command window here. Are you seeing? Have you seen what I've done? Type clear, click enter, then you proceed. It will clear all the variables. You can see mine here that there are no items to show on the variable window. Are you done? I can
Yes.
waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
good.
then we come to our data editor. So on our data editor, the first cell here, you're coming to the Excel sheet in STATA. So we'll paste this data set here. So it is telling us that it wants to know if we want to paste this data set, but if we want to treat the first row as variable names. And remember, on our Excel, here on the Excel, the first row here is showing the labels that you have given to this variable, to this. How you say income, this is like you're just labeling that this is my income, this is what. So STATA wants to know if you want to keep them, sorry, if you want the first row to be our variables. So yes, we want it to be our variables. So you click on the variable names. You want it to be your variable names. So we have that. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. So we have this. It's showing us that it's missing. And reason being, when I was typing here, I made a mistake. I skipped one. I skipped one here. I didn't type anything. I just skipped this. So even STATA reads it that there was something there. So it's reading it that there's a variable here. Are you getting it? But we can just give this, maybe we give this variable to be something. So it can be, we can put anything that you want. So maybe we put assets. We put assets, so we put maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have to just name it. So come back to your STATA here and just name that variable. Avoid confusion. So we can just rename variable to assets. When we go back to our, so you find that we have the variable assets here. Are we there?
Yes. A question, I think if me, I had not skipped that space and I would like to include that variable, I think I have to generate, is it?
Yes, you can generate, but you know, to generate, it means you're going to generate for all these rows. So that's why it's easier for us to do it here. You're going to generate for all these rows from row 1 row to up to row 6.
I thought I can generate for that one specifically, for that asset.
Oh yes, you can generate, but what I meant is when you come here to generate, you're going to say generate asset, right? Equals to maybe the first row, you'll say 1 in row 1, like that. Then the next one like that, 2 in row. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Until I reach on 1 in 6.
Yes, yes, you can generate that variable, then you come here and you feed in the rest of the information. You can generate the first one, then you come here and feed in the rest of the information.
Let me ask you a question now, sorry.
Hmm.
Assume I don't go there and I just come after income and I put in some figures there. And I put some figures after income.
Yes, here.
Then I just write their figures going down like 1, 2.
If you write figures, it will still show you that you have created a new variable here. That's why using data editor is very sensitive. That's why it's not usually it's not advisable for us to input data straight away from the data editor. You can only use it to edit or do something, but even to browse, we are not advised to usually use the data editor. So to browse, I mean to visualize data sets. So if you want to see whatever is in your data set, it's advisable to use the browse command, not the edit command, because with edit you can tap anything and then you change any figure, which you may not remember that you did.
Okay.
Yeah. But anything you type here, just know you're creating a new variable. Are we together?
Yeah, you can proceed. Thank you.
You're welcome. And now I want us to use these variables to explore the property window. At first, remember, we came here and we talked about property windows, talked of the variables and all that. Yes, last time we talked of the observation and the variables and all this, but we didn't talk about the name and the label, the type, the format, the value label. We didn't talk of the notes and all that. So I want us to just do something on that today. So you go to the variables manager. So when you go to your variables manager, it will tell you it is only here that we can use to play with this that I'm talking about, the name, the label, the type, and all that. So when you click on maybe sex, you know that usually we have sex, we have female, and then we also have male in our survey. That's why.
A moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you run there to those ones that you've been typing in?
Which one? This?
Variable managers. Yes. How did you run there?
Okay. Let me go back. I was here on the main window. So I told you I want us to explore this. The format, the type of data, you've heard of me say talk of string, there's float, there are so many types of data that we want to look at. So I want us to play around with this, but you realize that at one point I was trying to type and it was disturbing me. So the easiest way for us to do this, to label and to value label, to make some notes, is for us to go on the variables manager. It's here. Can you see it? we want to create value labels. We want to apply each value to each variable, especially sex education, that we are having them in the form of figures. Like when you look at this, yes, you as collected data, you know that 1 means a male, 2 means a female, but you want to put this, we want to assign these values to the variable. And then the same to this. You have seen that sometimes it's written tertiary, secondary, primary, and all that. You as collected data, yes, you coded them as 1, 2, 3, 4. But for me, who didn't go with you to the field, I may not know all this. So, for example, if I come here and I'm new to this, to your data set, and I just type maybe tab sex, it will come like this. So I'll not know what does 1 mean, what does 2 mean. So that's what I meant. I want us to attach, sorry, I want us to name this. The easiest way would be to use use label define to label them, but I want us to also know how to use the variable manager. Are we there? So we have here the type of data. The string basically just means a text. Can be, yeah, it just means a text, name of a person, name of the respondent, and all that. But we have also what we call byte. We have byte, we have float. Float means maybe your data has a decimal place, but a byte means you don't have any decimal place. It means your value has no decimal place. We can see it from here. Where is it? Here. I think that let me go back. So you see that sex is a byte, asset is a byte, also ID is a byte, and education is a byte, meaning that we input them, we used, there are no decimal places, you can see. But with a float, it means that there's a decimal place. What I'm talking about, the whole here, sorry, the type here. Are you seeing that when I click on assets here, the type of this variable, it means that the type is a byte. So what I mean by float is, for example, if I change any figure on the income and put a decimal place, if I say 200.5 or 0.6, okay. When I come back to the variable manager, it will show me that it has changed to float. Are we there? So I want us to, where I'd come here was to label this. So when you come and click on the variable properties, you find that the variable is named as sex, but it is not labeled. So we can label it from here, or we can go back to the main window and label it. So here you can just say sex of the respondent. Then the type is byte. Usually the type, really, we have not much to do there, because as you're importing the data from the Excel, STATA does it automatically. It just tells you that this is a byte, STATA reads all these things. And then we have the display format. This one just shows us that the data is displayed. It shows us the type of data displayed in the data editor. It shows how the data will be displayed also in your output. after doing the data manipulation. It's 8.0G, and this just means that we have the number of length is 8, and then we have 0 decimal place here. Okay, I think that's okay. We have to also know how to assign to do the value label. We have to know that here our data set is saying that sex has a value of 1 and 2 and all that. So we have to assign, we have to know how to assign values to our variable. So for you to do this, you have to come to the manager. Sorry. Let's first apply that. So for us to assign sex, to assign 1 to male and then 2 to female, I just come here and create label. Our variable, usually you can create a label. I think it's important for us to use the variable name. So let's use sex there. And then here you assign 1, say 1. In our dataset, we put 1 to men. Remember, the likes of Augustine, Jonathan, and Mike were having 1. And then we have here label. Just say these are male. And then you add. Then you come back and say 2 is female. And then again you add. So put OK. So when you put OK, we can do the same to education. Let's say this is the level of education. We're just naming it. We're just labeling that variable. So we just say level of education. It's a byte. Then we okay. We have to first apply the label that we have labeled here. So after applying, then you just come back here, and then we create. So we can put there the label name. We can say education, and then remember education. We have 4. There were 4 scales. I call them what? Like we ranked them into 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 was we can say 1 means maybe no education at all. Always we can say that 1 means the highest level of education. So we can put 1. Maybe we say 1 is tertiary. Then 2. Sorry, tertiary. Then we label it as tertiary. And then you say hard. Then next you say 2. And maybe you come and say secondary, and then you add 3, say primary, then add. Then the last one you say 4, maybe no formal, didn't do anything, didn't attain any formal education. Yeah, then let's close this. So you can see that the labels are here, but you realize that we are trying to assign 1 to female, 1 sorry, 1 to male, 2 to female, but it cannot show here. So we go back and apply. We go back and assign those values to each variable. So when you come here and set the value label, when you click here, we are sex of the respondent. So we just have to click here, then apply. And then we come back to education and do the same. And then we apply. So when we go back here, so you can see they're all here. So you notice that now we no longer have one here. The male, male has replaced one, then female has replaced that, then tertiary replaced one, secondary replaced two, like that. So when we come back to our main window and say tab, we tap sex, you realize that they have changed. So you realize that there are 3 male and then there are 3 females. Are we together?
On the course.
I don't know, but Faith, you're so quiet. Are we together?
Yeah, we are together. Unfortunately, I didn't have an Excel, so I was not. I looked for an Excel in my laptop, I couldn't trace it.
Okay,
So, but
sorry.
I'm catching up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, but you realize that usually when we're dealing with questionnaires, we have multiple choice questions. So this one's usually applied there. So you find that you ask a respondent, what level of education did you stop in? And then the person will tell you, I stopped in primary, I stopped in this. So you find that those variables, those multiple choice questions, you find that the options are coded as 1, 2, 3. So that is what is usually, maybe sometimes it's recorded. So that's why I wanted to just show you here how you can deal with that. Oh, I hope that is Kawa. So in STATA, we usually deal with each variable usually has a value. It has at least one value assigned to it. You know that in STATA we are dealing with quantitative analysis. So whether it is categorical values or what, we usually have to assign values to them. So I think let's go to the next agenda. We have done this, we have created this, we have done data entry. So let's deal with creating a working directory, and then we shall end there. So I want us to go to, you're going to the, go to your Google, and then just go to your Google and then type STATA dataset, STATA cross-sectional dataset. Type STATA cross-sectional dataset. You'll find it here. So let's pick any dataset from here. you can just copy the link, and then we come to our STATA. So since we are done with what we are doing here with the data that we got from Excel, let's clear this up, and then we bring in another data set. So since we have copied that from the net, just say use, then you press this here. And then that just to run. So I have mine here. So you notice that this has come from, it is showing us where it came from, yeah. But we can save this. We can save this to our PC, save this data set. So just have to come to File, Save As, and then give it a name. So I've saved mine as Brenda, and then I've saved this as STATA data. So I have saved it on all STATA. So it is here.
Brenda.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yeah, I'm hearing you.
Like when you go on Google and type data cross-section data set, what do you do after? I'm lost because I'm lost here.
Type after that,
Mm.
you'll have to come to the options. Eh?
Yes.
These are the options. There are so many options. Just
Hello?
yes, I'm saying there are
Yes.
there are so many options. You just have to
I just choose any.
yeah, choose and then you get the link.
Okay.
These links that are in blue are the ones that you are getting. But we're waiting for you. We're about to wind up. So when you copy that link, go to your STATA, then type on the command, type use. So when you type use, press the link. You press the link there, then you press enter. Are you done? Faith. Okay. So this is our working directorate. We already created it here. This is our working directorate. But we can as well change. It is showing here. STATA is showing us that. Okay, everyone has a different working directorate. Depends on what you're using, the type of PC that you're using. Me, I'm using HP. It actually depends on what you're using and how maybe sometimes some people call themselves by their PC. You find maybe Faith has here is written Faith. Then it's showing me that the data is saved in the desktop. It is in this folder, and the data is called Brenda. It is a STATA data. But we can as well change this working directorate. So when you want to change the working directorate, you can just say cd. When you say cd, you come to your files where the data is saved. Where is Brenda? Oh, it's here. So you click on it, and then I come here and copy this link and copy this. So when I copy this, I come back.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Which data is that on that you saved that side?
I was saying you just have to pick any. It is okay. Just get any link. Are you seeing all these data sets? All these are data sets. You just have to get any.
I got. I already have one. However, you said saving it somewhere, like where you are getting it from somewhere you saved it.
Oh, okay. You didn't save. So after getting the data set, you have to come and save that data set because you're getting it from the internet. So you have to save it in your PC. So I came to the file, go to save as, then give it a name. Just type any. Me, I saved mine as Brenda, but you can type any name that you want. So when you save it, I was saying you can as well change the working directorate because sometimes we really don't want to. Sometimes we really don't want to use the original data. So for you to change the working directorate, you say cd. Cd is change the directorate. Then you put this quotation. So you come to the path where the data is. So this is our data. So I come and click on it. When I come here, it is going to give me this. So this is what you copy, and you come and paste it. You come and paste it in between these quotes that you have created. So this should run. Another way you can see the path of your data, you can actually just come to file, right click on that data, then come to properties. So when you come to the properties, this is the location. This is where the data is found. It will show you that. So you can as well even use this to create the directorate. You can copy this. Then you come to. Let me first clear. So I can come and say. You make sure the name of the data set is there. It will still run. This is also your working directory. You can as well do this. That's when you already have the data saved in your PC and on the folder that you know. Are we all there?
Not yet.
Okay.
I request, how did you bring that saved file of yours from where you saved it from until this command stuff?
How did I bring it where?
How did you import it from where you saved it from until here in the command bar? After
Okay,
writing CD, then you put those double quotations.
then you come to where you saved it. Come to file. Mine is saved here in this. Okay, let me first close this. Maybe it's confusing people. So when I come here, oh, when I come here to my files, I look for all STATA. That's where my STATA work is saved. So I come here to my data is saved as Brenda. So I click on it, and then I will come here, and then I copy this. So when I copy this, I come to STATA and just do what I did. That CD space those quotations, and then I paste it in here. So this runs.
A moment. First come again.
Okay, go to your file. Go to the folder where you saved your data. Are you there? Mike?
Yes, I'm there.
You're done, eh?
Yes, I have opened there where I saved it.
Okay. I think we are done for today. So the reason why I introduced you to the working directorate is that the next class, what we're going to be looking at, you need to know about the working directorate and also how to use it. So I think let's stop here for today. The next class is going to be on Wednesday at 5. I think it's better for us to join early. So next time I'll start allowing people in like at 4:45. So that by exactly 5 we start. Thank you all.
A moment before you go.
Yes.
I have put it off because I was trying to get something here. It wasn't coming up. That last one, the working directorate.
And the working directorate.
Mm,
Working
how?
directorate is where you tell STATA that when you go to this place, you'll find the data I'm using there. So it's like you're telling STATA that I am using my HP PC. So in my HP PC, when you go to my file and then you go to the folder which is called all STATA, you'll find that the data I'm using is there and it's called Brenda. So it tells you the path where the data is found.
Okay,
Uh,
I've
I
got
hope
it.
that you've got it, eh?
Mm,
All right. Kale, bye all.
okay, thank
See you
you.
next time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brenda,
Yes.
how do we save our work?
Go to File.
Uh-huh.
Let me do it for you. You you can as well just save from here.
From where?
Um, what work do you want to save again?
All these ones that we've been doing.
Oh, with this, you want to save these ones. With
Huh?
these ones, you just have to come to. Someone is talking, but you come to that. Let's wait. To this, you come to the view window. Right click. Select. Hmm?
You're breaking, I didn't get you.
Mike. Review window. Right click and say select all. So when you select all of it, you're going to create a. You have to create a do file. Are you seeing where my cursor is? Sorry. Do file. Do file.
First, wait. I copy all of them.
You come to the command window. Right click. So you come
To
to
the review window. First,
Yeah.
wait. Is it the review window or the one you said first? I think it's the review window, not so.
Yes, review window where what you have executed is showing, where the history is showing.
Yeah.
History of all the commands. You cannot save this. You can only maybe copy it and put in Word or something. But what I'm talking about is the commands that will help you to run the same thing. But with this, with the main window here, you can just copy all and then you save. Maybe in Word or something like that.
Can I save in a do file? Is it also okay?
Yes, you can save on the do file.
In a do, I can paste everything in the do file.
That's what I'm saying. Come here and right click. Then you
I
select
have
all.
pasted everything in the do file. Eh?
Yes. Okay, but in the do,
Yeah.
save that do.
I click on file and I save it. Eh? The usual saving.
Yes. If you're on your do, come to file and save it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today's lecture was lecture 2, talking about what?
Pardon?
Today's lecture was lecture 2, is it?
Yes.
STATA. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think that's it for today.